Good afternoon, Evan. How are you today, bud?
Splendid today.
Oh, splendiferous today.
Splendiferous
Why
today.
say such a splendid day?
It's something very simple, but it means a lot to me. When I woke up this morning, I saw the sun, and I missed the sun.
Shut your mouth.
And we haven't seen the sun in weeks, so it was very nice to see the beautiful sun.
There you go. Look at the little things that make Evan so happy.
Small things put a smile on my face.
Simple, small things, yes. Things like Tom Brady, for example, that just put a smile on men's faces from coast to coast down in Tampa.
Spell hasn't been broken yet.
By the way, if the Buccaneers should win the Super Bowl, they're renaming Tampa Bay. Did you see what they're going to name it?
What are they going to rename it?
Tampa Bay.
Oh, God.
That's right.
God.
That's right.
This is why I didn't want Tom
Tampa Bay.
Brady in the Super Bowl. This is all of it. It's not even the game. Like, the game's the game. It's a football game. It's going to be wildly entertaining in all likelihood. It's this. It's everything that leads up to 2 full weeks of Tom Brady. Two full weeks of everything about this
I got to be honest, it really wasn't, though.
Oh,
last
sure
week
it
went
was.
really quick. Then Monday was all snow stuff, right?
Yeah, but
then you had the Mickey Callaway stuff.
No.
So we really have not had 2 weeks of Tom Brady to the point of wanting to vomit.
I don't mean us necessarily. I mean the football world. Like, the whole story about this Super Bowl is less the greatness of Patrick Mahomes, less the offensive line issues of the Kansas City Chiefs, and all about Tom Brady. So it's not us. It's not New York. It's the game. And this is an event we all look forward to. I love the Super Bowl. I never have to be stressed about it because my team's never in it. So I don't even know what it's like to watch my team play in a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That is something I've grown used to.
Have you gotten the fever yet, the bug yet? It's so different than every other Super Bowl because of COVID and the reality of COVID. And I know you're not a Super Bowl party guy, but still, the camaraderie of getting together, watching the game. You've been to a lot of games, obviously, a lot of Super Bowls over the course of your last 10 years. It's weird, like, I don't have the buzz yet. It's in a weird way. I'm excited, of course, and I'm looking forward to the menu, of course, and I can't wait to be there on the couch, fire roaring with my own chopped wood in my fireplace, unseasoned, and enjoy the fruits of my labor and watch the game with my kids. But the day itself, it's weird. Like, it doesn't have the same vibe yet for me because of all the things we're not going to have.
Yeah. For me, and I think I may be in the minority on this, it feels similar because what I try to do with the 2-week buildup and even the week buildup with Radio Rows and, everything that goes along with it, I try to ignore it. I try to think about the game. I hate all the hoopla that goes with it. You know what I mean? And so the game is still the game. And I still got a very sexy game on Sunday night.
Yeah, no, the game's going to be great. I don't think the game's going to disappoint at all.
No, and there'll actually be fans there, which does add a lot to it, as we've seen.
I'm not sure how the game could possibly disappoint. Because if Kansas City blows them out, a segment of people are going to love the fact that Tom Brady, quote-unquote, got blown out.
Yes.
If the Tampa Bay Buccaneers blow out Kansas City, which I just can't possibly see happening.
Not happening.
So take that off the table. So it's either a Kansas City blowout or it's going to be a really competitive game amongst, and it really is this great setup. It's really like, I was thinking about it. I was trying to think of some analogies today of the older veteran, the young, grasshopper, like Mr. Miyagi, Daniel LaRusso, that type of stuff, Karate Kid reference there.
Right.
And I was trying to think, and maybe you could help out here. What are great examples of the mentor and the mentee ever getting to go at it against one another?
Yeah.
Now, if you go way back in boxing, Larry Holmes fought Muhammad Ali, and Muhammad Ali was way past his prime, and Larry Holmes actually felt terrible about having to continue to punch him in the face and actually looked to the ref at one point.
Said, stop it.
But they wouldn't stop it.
Right.
And then as the story goes, Mike Tyson wanted to kill Larry Holmes for Muhammad Ali years later.
Right.
But I was trying to think of great examples of what we're going to have in this year's Super Bowl. The old veteran, the young buck superstar, right? And whether it's movies, whether it's real life, and I've got a list.
You've got a list?
I've got a list, but I'm not going to tell you what's on my list. I want to see if you in the audience can knock them off.
If I could guess part of the list?
Yeah, and it comes from all walks of life, too.
Well,
because that's what this Super Bowl is. This Super Bowl is the youngster against the greatest of all time.
Well, one of them that jumps out at me.
All right.
This is not, well, I mean, it's sports, but it's a movie.
Go right ahead.
Would be
Ooh.
Rocky.
No.
But I haven't even finished. You don't even know what I'm going to say.
Not Rocky.
Well, hold on a second.
Good.
Rocky in Rocky 5, and you also have Rocky Balboa, too, you could throw in there. But in Rocky 5, what's his name? Tommy Morrison?
Gunn? Yeah.
Tommy Gunn?
Yeah.
I mean, even though it wasn't a real fight, it was basically outside of a diner or something, which was kind of dumb. That's the young gun against the great Rocky. That, of course, qualifies.
Nah,
why?
It's not because it
Didn't make your list. Is that how we judge things now?
Well, it's not on my particular list. That's all.
Well, did you ever see Rocky Balboa, the second one that came out?
I did not see that one.
Okay,
no.
that one would definitely qualify. C-Mac, did you see that one? Rocky Balboa?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Oh, of course. Craig didn't see
It's
it.
the only one I didn't see.
You didn't see Rocky Balboa?
I did not see Rocky Balboa.
If I'm not mistaken,
Wow.
correct, fact check me if I'm wrong. Rocky Balboa is in like a video game simulation against the great young champion of that time.
Okay.
And then Rocky says, let's just do it for real.
Do it.
Well, not
Right?
pretty much. Not Rocky. The people who promote the fight see the attention the video game
Right.
got and then approach Rocky.
I got you.
So
Okay.
that definitely qualifies. And don't give me
That's
the
not a bad
excuse.
storyline, actually.
Thank you. Why didn't you see it? Is the
I
real
don't know.
question.
I don't know. Maybe I'll watch it tonight.
What world are we in where I saw a movie that you didn't see?
There you go.
I'm confused. But that qualifies.
There's
Add it
not
to the
on my
list.
there's not on my particular list, but throughout the afternoon we'll see if you can knock off the list. There's only 8 on the list anyway.
Oh, okay.
I went double Mount Rushmore.
Double.
Yeah, I double dipped on the Mount Rushmore.
Do you have any from real sports and not cinema or TV?
I have a weak one. I'll be honest.
I got one too.
It's
I'm
probably
curious if
my
it's the
weakest
same.
one.
Is it from the NBA?
It's from the NFL, actually.
Oh, it's from the NFL.
Yeah, I want to acknowledge when we get to it later.
Okay.
It's soft cheese, man. It's weak.
Okay.
I'm not saying, oh, that's a great one. It's almost like it could almost come under, oh, that's Captain Obvious. It's like
Really?
it's right on the border
Really?
there.
Okay.
So I know I'm going to take hits on that one, but it's an NFL one. All right. In any event, something happened yesterday that is bothering us on the show. And that is this notion that somehow yesterday, I think it was Ralph Vacchiano in his, I think he's over at SNY, right? So I put out a story that he learned that the New York Jets are not the number one choice of Deshaun Watson. Mm-hmm. Not that they're number 2, but there is no number one choice, right?
Right.
And they put that out there like it was breaking news. And then other people decided to go, oh, Ralph Vacchiano, no fault of Ralph's necessarily. He can't control how people react to his garbage. People reacted to it.
It was garbage.
We sat here a week and a half ago after that report down in Miami from Armand Seguro at the Miami Herald that the New York Jets were number 1 and the Dolphins were number 2. Remember that?
I do.
And we came in the next day. And do you remember what we said to the audience the next day?
I remember vividly because I wouldn't forget it. You looked at me straight in the eye and said, Evan and everybody listening, that's not true.
I said it's a complete falsehood.
That's right.
There was never a point at any part of the last 30 days when Deshaun Watson made a list and said the New York Jets, or for that matter, any other team, was number 1 on the list. We told you that it's almost 2 weeks ago now. So maybe Ralph Vacchiano doesn't listen to the show. Clearly he does. Why people took that as some type of breaking story and that the Jet fans should react negatively to is beyond the scope of what my brain can handle. When we said it on this very radio station, it'll be 2 weeks ago on Monday, right? When we came in and said, look, I know this is a fact. He did not prioritize the list.
Right.
He said yes, he would play for the Jets.
Right.
He also said yes, he would play for Miami.
Right.
And he has also said yes, there's other teams he would play for as well.
Yes. The only team he won't play for right now that we know are the Houston Texans.
Correct, right? So if you're a Jet fan that heard some of that earlier today or was aware of it when it broke, quote unquote, last night from SNY, Ralph Vacchiano on Twitter, or wherever you disseminate, digest your news, I'm here to save you. I'm here with Evan Roberts to make you feel better. That is not a new story. Deshaun Watson did not wake up yesterday and suddenly let his people know Maybe not on the New York Jets. Deshaun Watson's feelings on playing for the Jets have never wavered. If the New York Jets make an offer to Houston that is acceptable to Houston, and the Texans then go to Deshaun Watson's agent and say, will he play for the Jets? We have a deal. The answer is unequivocally
yes.
Yes. That's never changed. So this notion that the Jet fan today should be feeling gloomy about the fact that the Jets are no longer number one on his list. Memo to you Jet fans. Don't be gloomy. Be happy. He was never number one. The Jets were never number one on his list. And here's the good news. Nobody else is either. He does not have a number one preference of where he goes to play. So cut the crap out. Listen, it's okay if you don't know. It's okay if you're 2 weeks late. But don't make it into some big story that Deshaun Watson has removed the Jets as his number one favorite destination when he never said they were his number one favorite destination. It's like it doesn't end. And I'm not saying you have to give us credit. I really don't care. But don't put something out there like that when we put it out 2 weeks ago for you and it's not a news story today. It's not. It's just stupid. Like that stupid Lombardi trophy in between the L and the V on the official Super Bowl logo.
Yeah, it's confusing.
It's not Super Bowl 54. Right. It's Super Bowl 55.
Right. Move the Lombardi trophy above the L and the V.
Something.
Or underneath the L and the V.
Every time I see that stupid Super Bowl logo, I say to myself, that's last year's Super Bowl.
I know. You know, it's funny. When I first saw it, I thought about it, but I moved on. But now every time I see it, I can't get it past. I keep looking at it saying, what are you doing?
The NFL's going to have to fire their design guy or their marketing team.
It's not just
That's such a train wreck.
It's not just bad on who designed it. How does it then get approved? You don't look at that and say, wait a second, this says 54. It's not 54. That was a year ago. It's 55. It's the double nickel, which should mean a lot to you and many of my friends out there. That's what it is. It's the double nickel, baby.
I don't know why they messed that up, but every time I look at it, I get angry.
I
don't get angry at many things these days, but that for some reason bothers me because that logo went through probably 10 layers of approval before they released it. And I'm looking at it going, hey, fellas. I know 2020 was a terrible year, but that was the year of Super Bowl 54.
Right.
Like, what are we doing? Right?
Oh, and think about it. It's going to be like that forever now. There's always going to be the Lombardi between the L and the V, which is just going to make the Roman numerals look weird.
See,
think about next year.
Well, next year it's good. Next year you go L, V, and the trophy.
No, they're not going to do that, though. That would make sense.
What do you mean they're not going to do that?
Because right now, the trophy doesn't represent anything. Next year, it's going to represent an I. They're going to keep the I where it is and then put another I next to the V, and so it's going to look like, wait a second, is this 54 or 56? It's going to be a confused logo.
No, I think they'll recognize that they've totally foobarred it.
Wow.
And from now on, they'll use the trophy as the eye.
They should.
And if there's no need for an eye, then just move the trophy above it or below it. But right now, it's like we're redoing Super Bowl 54.
All I know is I'm looking at the Super Bowl logo for 56, and it's exactly the way I envision it. L.
No, that's not there's no official logo for 56
What am I
yet.
looking at then? A made-up logo?
Yeah. Somebody put out, let me see.
I'm telling you. L, Lombardi, V, I.
I don't think is that official?
I think it looks official.
Yeah, but you and I could do that with Photoshop. I wouldn't take us more than 5 minutes.
No, you're right about that.
Right? So maybe you could be right, though. Maybe from now on, the Lombardi Trophy is next to the L.
Yeah.
Which totally foodbars the entire concept of Roman numerals.
Incredibly dumb.
Quick quiz for you.
Yes.
What is the only number not represented by a Roman numeral?
The only number not represented by a Roman numeral?
What's the only number that does not have a Roman numeral?
Rephrase the question, please.
What number is not represented with a Roman numeral?
Well, an I is 1, a V is 5, an X is 10. 2 X's is 20, and L is
There is
50.
one number that is not represented in Roman numerals.
A number?
Yeah.
1,000.
No. Nope.
5,000.
No.
A million.
Sir. No.
0.
Yes.
Oh, it was a trick
It's
question.
not a trick question. Zero's a number.
Well, why would the number 0 ever be used with a Roman numeral?
Well, then it isn't. There's no 0 in Roman numerals. Huh. How about that? Why is that?
Because it would never be used.
Figure that one out.
Super Bowl 0?
There isn't. Well, the Roman numerals came well before the Super Bowl.
I know. I was thinking
as
that.
You may know.
Yes.
That's Roger Goodell, by the way, in his State of the Sport address today, said, and I quote, and we'll play this audio for you later today, Tom Brady has shown he's probably the greatest player to ever play the game. Everyone just plays better around him. Roger Goodell and Tom Brady hate each other with the passion of 1,000 suns.
You know why he's saying
that? And it
that?
must pain him to have to see Tom Brady back again and once again possibly have to hand the Lombardi trophy to Tom Brady. I love that.
No, I think that's Roger just kissing the ring, like getting down on his hands and knees and just kissing the ring of Tom Brady because I think he wants Tom Brady to forgive him. I think he wants Tom Brady.
Late for that.
No, I know it's never going to happen. Yeah. Not after the Deflategate situation and the suspension. But that's what it's about. In his dreams, he wants Tom Brady to like him. Now, that will never happen. You know that. I know that. But that's the motivation behind lines like that.
You think he's 100%. Currying favor?
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Absolutely.
Well, the number to join us, 877-337-6666. I will say in the Deshaun Watson thing, and the longer it goes, the worse it gets for the Jets. And frankly, I say that's the same for every team that thinks they've got a crack to get him. The longer it goes, the more teams potentially get involved, the more negotiation goes on, the more teams offer. And if you are in it, and let's just pretend for the sake of the argument that the New York Jets are in the conversation, there's going to be other teams for sure because of the talent that have to be by default in the conversation. So if there's 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever the amount of teams ultimately is,
right?
Now you have a bidding war. And that bidding war, to me, does not favor the New York Jets.
So I'm mixed about that because I get what you're saying. The longer it goes, it's bad for the Jets. And the reason I would lean towards that at first is picking number 2 in the draft. That is the most valuable thing the New York Jets have. It's the thing no one can match. I mean, unless you think Jacksonville's making a deal, they're not. Okay? They have the number 2 pick in the draft. But what happens when the draft comes? If no deal is made, Joe Douglas has to draft for the New York Jets. He's not going to call up the Texans and say, hey, just in case we make a deal, what would you like to do it to? It's over. So that commodity is gone the day the draft happens. That's a negative for the Jets. But here's a positive for the Jets. How many teams have a second first-round pick in 2022? There you go. The Jets do. They have an extra first-round pick next year.
Yes, they do.
Most teams, in fact, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think there's another team in the league besides the Lions now, with a second first-round pick in 2022. And here's the other thing that helps the Jets. What happened between the Rams and the Lions? They made a trade for a quarterback. What's going to happen potentially with Carson Wentz? He'll be traded to a team that needed a quarterback. The more quarterbacks traded, the less suitors there are.
For sure.
For Deshaun Watson. So those 2 things I mentioned help the Jets, but the first thing that hurts them is the commodity of number 2. Because the commodity of number 2 is huge, and I think it's being underrated at times. That's how valuable that piece is. But once the draft occurs, that piece becomes a player. And it's a player that Joe Douglas selected, not the Houston Texans.
Well, we got lots to do today. Going to be all over the map today. A little Knick basketball later on this afternoon for sure after they win against Chicago. Roger Goodell speaking right now regarding what's going on in the NFL. Deshaun Watson, Trevor Bauer, and so much more, including your best example of what we're going to witness in this year's Super Bowl. The young up-and-coming star, the cagey old veteran. And can you knock off our top 8? I think by the end of the day, 6 of the 8 will go easily. I think 2 of them are very difficult to get.
I already have a few ideas.
6 of the 8, boom. You want to take a shot at one right now? Oh, by the way, look at you today.
What do you mean?
Brand new mask on.
I do.
Evan has forfeited the surgical mask that he has worn for the last 4 months. And is now rocking a black Under Armour mask.
I received an email, and I'll give the guy credit because I like it so far, from Spike Eskin in Philadelphia.
My main man.
You like the guy?
Well, I know Spike's father very well.
All right, so Spike emailed me and said, look, I got a good mask. You may want to try it out. I said, okay. Had it mailed to me, gave it a try this morning. I was like, I think I may be able to retire the surgical mask. So it's this beautifully comfortable black.
Yeah.
What's the logo on it? I can't
It's
see.
the Under Armour logo.
Under Armour mask.
By the way, and wearing the one that Spike wore for the last 6 months was pretty ballsy of you. Going from the clean, brand new surgical mask to the already used mask of Spike Eskin. And especially considering that Spike is a Philadelphia guy. I'm not, and it's a good dude.
Did I explain the story wrong?
But you have now entrusted your health to the mask of a Philadelphian who has already worn it.
You know what? Yes, I
The
have.
heavily tattooed Spike Eskin.
What does that mean?
I'm just putting it
You
out
think
there.
because he has a lot of tattoos, the mask would be dirty? How dare you?
I didn't say that.
That's a very rude
I'm just
comment.
adding that to the fact so you know what you're dealing
Look,
with.
the best comment you made that I have to give
Multiple
pause to.
piercings too, I imagine.
The piercings don't bother me. The tats don't bother me. What does add some concern is the city of Philadelphia.
That's
That
right.
does make me think a little bit.
Yeah.
I may have to give this a second thought now.
So did Spike come to you totally out of the left field? Like, do you know Spike? Do you talk to him frequently?
I had never met Spike, but it was nice of him to reach out. He said he enjoyed the show and
you go.
said, I got this mask idea. Would you like to try it out? And I said, you know what? Sure. Thank you, pal.
Look at you.
It was a nice gesture by him. He didn't have to do that. Look at
you.
Look at him, not look at me.
you.
What did I do?
Spike's a good dude.
He's a good dude. He didn't have to do that.
How do you know he didn't poison the mask because it's a New York, Philadelphia
Oh,
thing?
you think there's a plot going on here?
Well, listen, Spike is all Philly all the time.
That's true. Well, let's see how I'm doing at 5 o'clock.
How do you know
if I keel over, we have a problem.
Well, did it come in a like a sealed envelope, like directly from manufacturer?
Yes.
It did.
Yes.
But I don't know about those Philly guys. Who knows what he put on that mask?
I'm actually starting to think that maybe Philadelphians get a bad rap. You know, maybe I have not given the city of Philadelphia and their people enough credit because that was a kind gesture that I got to admit.
I can assure you that you've not made a mistake on that one.
Oh, okay. Because I wouldn't have done that. Like if I had noticed Spike was wearing a surgical mask and I knew of a better mask, and I think I'm a nice guy, but I don't think I would have reached out the way he did. He's a better guy than me, apparently.
Yeah, apparently so.
But now I got to pay it forward. So now I have to do this kind of thing in the future. Look out for someone else.
That'd be nice of you.
I'm going to start doing
Big
that.
life change for you.
Yeah, Spike changed my life.
That sounds the same. It sounds fun. I just no. I go, wait, you wearing a black Under Armour
What do you
mask?
think?
That's new.
Do you like it? Because you're the one who looks
I
at me all
don't,
day.
frankly, I respect why you wear it. I don't like the fact that you wear it.
You don't like that I wear a mask, period?
No, I respect that you wear it because you have a newborn at home.
Right.
And your family's worried about COVID
Right.
because you're the only one that really interacts in public.
That's true, yes.
So I totally respect you wearing it. I wish you didn't have to wear it.
What's the biggest challenge of your radio partner wearing a mask? Not seeing my facial expressions?
Yeah, I guess that's part of it. I don't know.
Interesting.
Like, it doesn't bother me at all. I just wish you didn't have to wear it.
No, how do you think I feel?
Like, and those guys, too, looking over at Big Mac and Tommy. And it's just, I don't know. Like, I'm not wearing a mask. I wear it when I'm off the air, of course. As soon as the microphone's off, to be respectful of the other coworkers.
Sure.
As you'd attest to, my mask goes right on.
Yes.
And I'm wearing today the WFAN mask,
Yes.
which they sent me. Although it's weird that the WFAN logo is not dead center.
Which tilted to the side?
It's over
Let me
to the
see
right.
that. I never even noticed that.
The logo's over to the right.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't even center it.
I also have some Welch's grape soda stain in there. I've got a little popcorn seeds from today in there. And I brought in the sardine sandwich, which is now 6 days old. Going to heat that bad boy up in a little bit as well.
God, do you ever wash those things?
Wash what things?
The mess.
Yeah, no, my wife washes them
good.
every day.
Thank God.
They get rewashed, but the grape soda stain doesn't come out.
So it's permanently there?
That's a reminder that never goes away ever. That's right. That's exactly right. All right, listen, we'll get all your calls. We got lots cooking today. 877-337-6666. I did tell Evan I had this hope that Trevor Bauer would be signed. I think I even said today. I should have said by the end of the week, but I got to own it. I said today. And there was a report out there that somebody saw Trevor Bauer, unconfirmed, of course, house hunting.
Where?
Long Island City.
LIC?
That's a report that's out there.